What's up everyone, Black Beetle here. Today we're going to be redesigning some more older Loomians. Specifically, we are going over Loomians that I'm particularly fond of. Though they're not my favorites, but they can be in my top 10. I will also be giving you my thought process to show you of what I was thinking during the creation process. Now without further ado, let me introduce you to these new redesigns. Wiki. Wiki is one of the Loomians that have been with me since day one, and I appreciate that. Even though his design is a bit outdated, I still have a fondness of Wiki. Kabunga, not so much. But Wiki is still pretty cool. For this sketch, right off the bat, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to go more of the evolution theme than the evolution of the creature itself. When it comes to evolutions in creature capturing games, they usually make a bigger version of the creature. What I wanted to do was explain the theme of the creature, you know. When you grow up, you don't only get bigger, but you get wiser and sometimes even smarter. When it comes to Wiki, I wanted to go for a more big mom, healer, wise, old woman who you found in the swamp that tends to your wounds at night. I kept the body type relatively the same, while I wanted to show off the fact that the arms could extend with vines coming from it. I always imagined Wiki being able to do this, but I wanted to show it off. Along with the asymmetrical branch on his head, I use a whitish blue instead of a pure white, because in designs you kind of don't want to use a pure white because it may seem off, but you want to use something close to white. That way you can get the same point across. With Wiki out of the way, one Loomian design that I find kinda underwhelming was this next one up. I still like it, but it kinda confuses me. Terrafly. When it comes to Terrafly, I don't dislike it, more of it just confused me what the design is trying to convey. I think it's more or less, it's an older design than it being that confusing, but I kind of wanted to just clear it up just a little bit. I didn't change the design too much, but I did change the proportions of the design. I gave it a longer abdomen, made the multiple limbs smaller while the big and more important limbs are bigger. I also wanted to give it more colors akin to its pre-evolution and give it a bit more highlights to give it that oomph. Though I like green and brown, too much of it is used, and I feel like just a little bit of pop of orange would definitely fix that design and turn it around. For the last design of today, it kind of has that definitely older design syndrome. Even though it's a bit younger than the previous designs, I still think it's a bit affected by how old it is. Trumbull. Before I begin, I just want to let you know there's nothing wrong with regular Loomian designs that are just animals. But when it comes to just animals, you kind of do want to still make them a bit more characteristic and more interesting. For example, Tauros from Pokemon is just a regular bull. Sure, it's kind of just a bull with 3 dots on his head and 3 tails if you wanted to simplify it, but people still admire Tauros for its simple yet kind of charismatic design, even though it could be a little bit more updated to newer standards. So I hope this new Trumbull design kind of makes it a bit more charismatic and different from the older one. This design was a bit more just update the look to make it a bit more modern and to make it a bit more charismatic. I originally was going to base it off of a Branham bull, but I realized that wasn't the original idea of the respective artists that created the design. So in retrospect, I kind of was going to change it a bit much from what the original vision was, which is something I don't want to do too much, but I just want to, tweak it a bit just to see more of what was the vision of this design. I kind of went for a more bulky, shaggy Highland cow, which is what I expect the design to be based on. So that's kind of what I went for. Even though I will admit that I had other designs that I wanted to do. I will also show y'all what I had made, or the sketches of what I was going to do for this last Loomian. But I decided to go with Trumbull because I kind of felt sad in a way, you know. It's just like, if it's your first mount and it's free, you kind of expect it to be this kind of step in progression. But when you ride the saddle, it's kind of stiff and I don't want to say jank, but kind of jank, you know what I mean? I really like Trumbull, I really do, but I just feel like if the saddle's not going to be as good as the Loomian is, I feel like the Loomian got to be better than the saddle, so we can at least have a more rememberable Loomian design. One detail I also wanted to note is that the skin missing from his back is kind of in place of a saddle, so it won't be too much like, you know, man-made clutter onto the beast. Even though it's kind of what it's supposed to be, I don't want it to have all that, you know, man-made stuff on it. It's supposed to be like a musical bull that produces sound, and even if it's like a farm kind of like pass it on, I do want to have less like clothing, not clothing, but you know, less stuff on it that's human made. So I just kind of move a little patch there, a little trim. The other designs that we're gonna do for the last Loomian in place of Trumbull was kinda expected to be done, but I just couldn't really figure out what to do with the designs. I didn't really like them too much. Well, but I am still gonna show you, of course. Ooh, that came out a little weird, but yeah, let me show you these designs. This is Tab Tab, and for Tab Tab, I kind of just wanted to do less details and simplify it a bit. Not too much, but I still wanted to have quite a bit of detail with it, because when it comes to things you want to redraw, or say if you wanted to animate it, you want as less details as possible, but you still want to get your point across. So that's what I wanted to do with Tab Tab here. But I couldn't really put my finger on what I wanted to do with it. I kind of gave it like a two tails with the leaf tail, tree legs. It just didn't work. Now with Wobblies, I know he's kind of part of meme culture, so I made him a bit bottom heavy, made him like skinny, like Weasel kind of ish. I want to make him like skinny up top and bottom heavy, so he can kind of remind you of Weasel or a ferret, like a pet little ferret. I gave him like, you know, the like little scruffy cheeks, the feet, the little footies, the tail, and then I gave him like these weird arms that oddly kind of fit. I just didn't like it fully. It was something off about it. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm still pretty proud of it. I might finish this, or I might redesign it a bit more because it still look a little too goofy. Now with that being said, I hope y'all guys enjoyed the video. I'm really trying to make this. It's been a few weeks and even a few months I've been thinking about what changes I could have made to this video. The designs themselves didn't take too much long. It's just the fact that I didn't know what to do for the most part. Mostly like just me hours staring into the abyss. But I hope you like the designs that I still came up either way. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. I'm glad y'all saw it through the end. I'm mostly focusing on redesigning things before the UMV update, so let me know in the comments which Loomians would you like me to design. And until then, sincerely, Black Beetle.